This is KGW News at Sunrise.
This morning, Measure 114, Oregon's voter-approved gun control law, is on hold after being ruled unconstitutional by a Harney County judge. Ahead, how the judge came to his decision and why advocates say this is just the beginning. Plus,
you have a favorite, and by favorite I mean least favorite?
Washington Square.
Probably Trader Joe's parking lot.
So, where is your least favorite parking lot during the holiday shopping season? Chris McGinnis has an all-new edition of Driving Me Crazy, and it's right around the corner.
And we are also live this morning at the airport. Oh, yes.
oh wow.
Good grief.
You guys ever stood in a line like that?
I mean, probably at some point. I try not to, yeah.
It is, that is a scary sight, especially when you're running late, right? Oh, my goodness. Yeah, it's a very busy day at the airport because Thanksgiving is tomorrow. This, of course, is one of the busiest travel days of the year. I was reading a report from the Today Show gang that said this could be the busiest travel day in the U.S. ever.
Because of those people there. It's their fault right there.
Look at this guy. Yeah, I'm going to the front. Get out of my way. I'm going right. Yeah.
Hey.
He knows he's on TV.
Pre-check, baby.
Guy's probably going to Hawaii. He's in a good mood. Okay, let's bring it out here to the news studio. Well, I'm more from the airport, of course, gang, coming up a little bit later. It is what is today? It's Wednesday. It's the day before Thanksgiving.
Yep.
And it's also Brenda Braxton's last day on the Sunrise Show. My goodness.
Isn't that unbelievable?
Say it.
You're not even nervous, are you?
I am a little bit nervous. I've spent my whole career talking about other people, so it's foreign to me to be kind of the center of that attention. But I promised myself I was going to enjoy it.
I think
in the moment.
Say that those people that we just showed
Yeah.
are so disgusted that you're leaving, they're leaving too.
We're
I never
out.
thought of that, right?
Yeah, good point, yeah.
What do you got for us in the weather
Let's
department?
get you going. Well, what we just saw, a reminder, this is a busy travel holiday through the air. Later today, the roadways will be getting busy in our local area. We're starting off wet, not stormy. Chris McGinnis reporting this was just really light but intense soaking precipitation coming down that's moving down through Portland right now. Notice it is drying up to our northwest, and the rain chances will be ending this morning, and we have dry weather this afternoon, dry weather tonight. Bricks are wet. Boy, you see that right there. Temperatures are fine. It's 48 right now out at PDX. There's a dry noon hour, 50 degrees. Later today, about 50 degrees through the afternoon. Here is Chris McGinnis.
For the precipitation right now, a drizzle storm. That's what we've got going on out there. Really fine, faint rain, but it is saturating, and you can see the vapor trails coming off the cars here. This is I-5 up near Victory Boulevard. For some perspective at home, that's the southbound commute. It's in pretty good shape. We'll switch gears, give you the Rose City Sky Camera. You can see a lot here. The ramps to the Morrison Bridge, the Markham Bridge here. There's the Hawthorne Bridge, by the way, off in the distance, and drizzly. And yeah, let's take you up over the passes as well. Cascade passes are wet this morning. This is a live look at government camp. So anyone going to and from Central Oregon, good to see bare pavement up there. Drew?
All right, Chris, thanks for that update. We also have a developing story that we want to get to this hour. It comes from North Portland, where 3 people are now in the hospital after a car crashed into a building. Portland Fire says this happened around 2:30 in the morning, about a block away from Kenton Church. They said their crews arrived on the scene there and found that car completely engulfed. They wound up taking 3 people, pulling them out of the car and taking those people to the hospital. Of course, we'll update you on the story as we continue on through the morning here on Sunrise.
Well, record crowds are expected to take to the air and the roads over the next couple of days. With AAA forecasting, more than 55 million Americans will travel at least 50 miles from home.
TSA is making its own predictions. So TSA says that they will screen almost 3 million Americans today at airports across the country. Let's see how things are shaping up at our airport. Thomas Schultz is filling in for Devin Haskins this morning. Set the scene for us this morning, Thomas. What's happening there?
Well, guys, I mean, as you saw just a couple of minutes ago, already a lot of people here lining up at TSA, ready to check into their gates and get on their flights, wherever they're going, either nationwide or internationally. Now, TSA says this is going to be one of 17th to next Tuesday. They're expecting to see around 30 million people go through airport gates. Historically, today's one of the busiest travel days of the year, too. Around 3 million travelers will catch flights nationwide. Now, here at PDX, they're expecting to see almost 250,000 people over the holiday. That's up significantly from what the airport saw just a year ago, when it's almost a 10% rise. And they expect next Sunday to be the busiest day as people return home from visiting family and friends. Now, we got the chance to speak to a couple travelers early this morning, and while they were a little bit bleary-eyed, they note it was important for them to get here early.
So far, it's gone pretty well. Hasn't really been too many hiccups or anything like that. I'm surprised it's not busier yet, but I'm sure it's going to look really busy here probably like in an hour or two when more people come in, which is why I got in early.
Now, parking can also be tough to find here. PDX is asking people to make sure they're checking in online for those parking spaces, or easier, just take the Max over here to the airport. And they also note that, hey, we talked to that traveler a few minutes ago. He got here 2 hours early. They want people to get here 2.5 hours earlier, as PDX is just going to get busier and busier for those domestic flights. If you're flying internationally, they want you to get here 3 hours ahead of that time. Guys?
Ooh, that is early. Okay, makes sense though. Lots of people there at PDX. Thank you, Thomas. A Harney County judge has found voter-backed Measure 114 unconstitutional. Now questions surrounding permits for purchase and magazine sizes are headed to higher courts. Catherine Cook has the latest.
In November, the people of Oregon passed the Reduction of Gun Violence Act.
Unconstitutional. That's how Harney County Judge Robert Raccio characterized Measure 114 on Tuesday when he permanently blocked the state from enforcing it. Voters passed the gun control measure by a slim margin in November of 2022. It required potential gun buyers to first obtain a permit from police by taking a safety course and passing a background check. The measure also banned magazines that hold more than 10 rounds of ammunition. In his ruling, Judge Raccio found that both of those provisions violated the state's constitution, specifically Article 1, Section 27. It says in part, the people shall have the right to bear arms for the defense of themselves and the state. Raccio said Measure 14 does not increase public safety. He said the 30-day window to process a gun permit application would allegedly prevent Oregonians from properly defending themselves from an imminent threat. The judge also argued that nearly all people who own large-capacity magazines are reasonable gun owners, and that the large-capacity magazine ban wouldn't deter shooters who could simply carry multiple 10-round magazines and reload quickly. Lift Every Voice Oregon was the group that spearheaded Measure 114 with the goal of reducing gun violence, including mass shootings. In a statement, Chief Petitioner Reverend Mark Knudsen said, voters were clear that these life-saving policies should be the law in Oregon. We know these policies have been upheld by courts in other states, and though we anticipated Judge Raccio would rule the way he did, we have been preparing for the appellate process for some time now. We are ready to move forward in the Court of Appeals and even the Oregon Supreme Court to get 114 implemented. After the ruling, KGW reached out to Oregon Attorney General Ellen Rosenblum. She shared this statement saying, the Harney County judge's ruling is wrong. Worse, it needlessly puts Oregonians' lives at risk. The state will file an appeal, and we believe we will prevail. Catherine Cook, KGW News.
Portlanders will soon be able to take magic mushrooms as a form of mental health therapy. The city's first psilocybin facility will open at the beginning of next year. InnerTrek is at the corner of Burnside and MLK in Southeast. The center will be the third in the state, but the first to treat groups of people of up to a dozen at once. This comes after voters approved ballot measure 109 back in 2020, legalizing the medicinal use of psilocybin. InnerTrek says right now it has more than 1,000 people on a waiting list. Everybody has to go through an application process and an in-depth screening to make sure that this form of therapy is right for them. According to the Oregon Health Authority, research shows psilocybin can help with depression, anxiety, trauma, and addiction.
There's something, like Tom said, magical. It's really important about witnessing each other and our humanity, that deep connection, that healing that comes in a group.
We need help. This is an option for folks that are really struggling, and we can do this right, and we can do this smartly.
A full-day group session will run about $850 per person.
Okay, taking a step outside, looking at Pioneer Courthouse Square. Dark now with a little light there, but come Friday, that 75-foot Douglas fir is going to be all beautifully lit, dazzling. in Portland's living room. Our own Blair Best will be hosting all the festivities. You can also take part in a sing-along that'll be happening too with Portland's Thomas Lauderdale from Pink Martini. That celebration starts at 5:30 Friday evening. If you can't make it in person, no worries. You can watch it live on KGW.com or streaming on KGW Plus. And though you won't see it here on air, it's because of college football.
So I know, Brenda Braxton, that for many years you were asked to host that tree lighting event. So here's the deal. I want to be our news director, Greg Ritsinas, and you be yourself. He says, hey, Brenda, I know your last day on the air here is Wednesday, but we'd really like you to host the tree lighting on Friday. How would you respond?
No.
And that's why she's been successful, my friends, because she gets to her point very clearly and very succinctly.
Boundaries.
No Brenda on Friday. Rod, you're not doing anything with the tree lighting either, my friend, right?
No, but my wife has told me we are putting up lights on the house this weekend.
Oh, that's good, right? It's dry?
I hate doing that.
Now,
They're awfully pretty, but what a pain in the rumpus.
You make your father-in-law, Grandpa Kim, do the
I get
high
up on
wire
the ladder.
act?
Oh, you
I
get
got
on
to
the
keep
ladder.
Grandpa Kim healthy to mow the lawn. You know what I mean?
Oh,
You are
of
so
course.
bad.
He's already resting for next lawn mowing season. All right. Well, I made a big deal. I hope you've gotten the point that there really are no expected travel issues across the country, weather related, today or tomorrow, and that still looks to be the case. These are projected afternoon temperatures. Plenty warm in the East Coast. New York 53. Chicago up into the 40s. Minneapolis 46. Denver, you may be connecting, 66 there. Phoenix, that's comfortable, right? 76. San Francisco 66, up in Seattle, upper 40s this afternoon. The one weather front that was producing rain up and down the East Coast, you can see it right here, still raining in parts of South and North Carolina, but this is starting to move out to sea, and behind that, there's really very little anywhere. Here's our weak system producing some rain right now. There's another band coming through Portland. There could be some showers fill in behind this band, but generally through mid-morning, the rain will be winding down. We go on to be dry at noon and dry this afternoon. Look how wet. You can see how wet the road is and the sidewalk there in front of Pioneer Courthouse Square downtown. We have light rain falling in the city right now. We're at 48 degrees. Everybody's in the 40s. We'll try those a degree warmer, 50. Have 46 in Happy Valley. Salem, good morning, 49. Up in Astoria, it's 47. The Dow's well above freezing. Snow level has been just getting below 6,000 feet right now up in the Cascades. And those passes have been holding well above freezing, and they are just wet. Not anticipating any travel issues over the high country through the holiday weekend. Here we are this morning, 9 o'clock. There might be still a lingering shower, but generally dry. Partial clearing coming in from the northwest. All dry for your evening travel up and down I-5 or east out through the gorge or up over the Cascades. It'll be just fine. Valley temps with northwest winds 5 to 15, and the dry weather coming this afternoon will be up to about 50, give or take. Similar numbers up in the southwest Washington. We're still all dry through Tuesday, maybe even all dry through Wednesday of next week at this point. Some cold nights, but sunshine and daytime highs are coming. That's your forecast.